Let's go to Lenore in D.C., Independent Line.
Hello.
Hi, you're on.
Hey, how you doing? So I just got a couple of questions because I don't really have a dog in this fight, but just listening to the callers and your guests here, I'm just trying to understand because it looks like to me that it looks like an apartheid system in Israel. It looks like colonizers taking land. And how can you say you're going to war that you're oppressing? You're oppressing. How are you going to war?
Caller, we can bury you here. You're going to have to get closer to the phone.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. My car picked up the call. You hear in my ear. But I just don't understand. It looks like, Israel, America, just a bunch of bullies trying to make people do and act and be the way they want them to be. They whitewash religion, they whitewash history, and now they're trying to tell us the lies and telling us to believe the lies. This guy is sitting in your studio talking about Israel's been there for 2,000 years, but you can't find any historical history stating that Israel.
Okay, I think you got it out. We'll let our guests respond to that.
Well, yeah, you can find a lot of historical documentation that Israel was a Jewish state 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. In terms of apartheid, that accusation is made to the Israeli occupation of the West Bank. The Israeli argument against that is that it has pulled its forces out of southern Lebanon in 2000, and what it got in its place was Hezbollah, sworn to destroy Israel. It pulled, as we've talked about earlier, out of Gaza in 2005, and again, it was taken over by a militant terrorist group whose express purpose is to destroy the state of Israel. It cannot afford, in Israel's mind, to pull out of the West Bank, which has a larger population and is closer to the centers of Israeli population, without being absolutely sure that the same thing doesn't happen there. That's not unreasonable. Now, there are many actions that Israel takes that the U.S. government correctly criticizes, such as settlements in the West Bank, but that's a different issue. And I would point out that roughly 10% of the Israeli population are Arab. They vote. And in fact, in the last government, they actually had members of the government, and they have, of course, people in the parliament today.
What do you think of the colonization argument that's made, especially comparisons of what's going on there to, say, the United States histories with Native Americans and land?
Again, there is a problem with the Israeli settlements in the West Bank area. That is something that the United States and the international community has condemned repeatedly. They are not, generally speaking, allowed under the laws of war, because under the law of war, Israel is legally occupying hostile territory. That's the legal basis of that. But the settlement activity is both a political problem and a diplomatic problem, of course, and it also raises serious legal questions.
Let's hear from Susan. Susan's our last call on this Massachusetts Republican line.